Hey guys, it's Sebastian from AskSebby, and today we are going to talk about the relaunched American Express Green Card. There are going to be some pretty substantial changes, so stay tuned. Before we dive in, if you are someone who wants to support the channel, feel free to give this video a thumbs up. If you're someone who is new to the channel and you want to use points towards travel or just to get some extra cash back, feel free to subscribe to the channel. Also turn on notifications. This is going to be a first impressions video, so we're going to go through all of the benefits of the card, the changes, and give you my thoughts. One first thing I wanted to mention, because I know this is going to be a question down below, is whether this is considered a new product. The reason this is a common question is because if you are someone who previously had the green card, you're not going to be eligible for the intro bonus for this card. Taking a quick look at the terms, this is exactly what I mean. Feel free to pause here if you want to keep reading. With that out of the way, let's look into the multipliers for the card. The first one, and this is a huge one, is that you're going to earn 3x points back on travel as well as transits. In their marketing, they mention flights, hotels, transit, taxis, as well as ride shares. But like most things, I'd recommend looking into the terms. Diving in a bit more, we see that it also includes cruises, car rentals, campgrounds, trains, tours, ferries, tolls, parking, buses, subways, and also third-party travel websites. This is actually really amazing because if you look at the gold card as well as the platinum card, you get multipliers on travel, but only in very specific ways. So for example, you get it when you book airfare directly with the airline, or if you book it directly with American Express. Same thing with hotels, where you have to book it with American Express. Having this travel category that is so broad means that you're getting points back when you're booking through Hotels.com, Expedia, as well as for all of those other transit charges that you normally don't get value back from. A+ in my book, and I think it's going to be a big competitor to the Chase Sapphire Preferred, the Reserve, as well as most other travel cards. Next is going to be 3x back on restaurants globally. The reason that this sounds familiar is because with the American Express Gold Card, you get 4x back on the same thing. So this is a very interesting strategy because they're kind of cannibalizing their own products, but at the same time, they have categories that are drastically different. It really just depends on how your numbers fall into place, as well as the effective annual fees for these cards based off how you value those other credits. And then the other thing with the gold card is that you also get 4x back on US supermarkets. So how much do you eat out and how much do you eat at home? For me, the green card is seemingly very targeted towards millennials, people who live in places like New York who don't actually make food at home. With an annual fee of $150, what we really want to figure out is what the effective annual fee is. So $150 is a ton of money, but with a lot of these cards, the general strategy is to partner with different places to make it feel a lot more reasonable. So what benefits are you getting? What credits are you getting in the long term? The first one is going to be a $100 clear credit that you get every calendar year. If you're someone who travels a lot, one thing you'll notice is that the pre-check line has gotten pretty long. The reason is likely because a lot of these credit cards have offered a TSA pre-check as well as a global entry credits. This pretty much means that clear is the new pre-check. It really does depend on the airport that you're based out of though, because some airports don't have this. I'd check if your airport has this benefit, and I'd also check at whether you have other cards and other options where you can get this benefit for a bit cheaper. The $100 credit is still probably going to be better than those options, but really just depends on you. So for example, if you have Delta Diamond status, you actually get Clear for free. If you are someone looking to sign up for Clear, I'd recommend waiting for promotions or also looking for discount codes online just to knock the sticker price a bit down. Yes, you're getting a credit, but you still want to save money. Side note, because I forgot to give a grading score to the dining, I think it's probably between a B+ to an A depending on how you care about this perk and also whether you have the gold card. It's pretty competitive, but I feel like if you're someone who uses those perks anyways, you might as well get the gold card as well. You're probably going to get positive expected value. For the clear benefit, I think I'd probably rate it a B because people who travel a lot, consultants, already probably have that benefit, and if you're someone who doesn't travel that much, you're probably not going to feel like you're getting that much value. Yes, you're saving some time, but it's not really that substantive. The final long-term benefit is going to be a $100 Lounge Buddy credits. Lounge Buddy was recently acquired by American Express earlier this year. If you don't know what they are, they're kind of like a directions and also kind of like a Yelp for lounges. The cost to access each lounge is going to be different, but you're looking at about $30. So for example, looking at Singapore and looking at all of the options you have, it's in the $28 to $35 range. This equates to about 3 visits to lounges every year that is covered by this card. I think it's interesting if you don't have lounge access otherwise, but if you have the Platinum card, if you have the Chase Sapphire Reserve, the City Prestige, any of these other premium cards, you probably already have access to a lot of these lounges. Because I was very curious about this, if you look at the options for Lounge Buddy, as well as the price, and then what is covered by Priority Pass, you can see quite a bit of overlap. For Dubai, the prices seem a bit higher at about $40, but the interesting thing is that there seems to be a lot of hotel options. So for example, the Dubai International Hotel is $140 there. For lounges, I typically don't like looking at the sticker price. I like looking at the value that I'm deriving. And if I'm someone who's going to eat a lot of food, who's going to drink, then you're getting more value. But if I'm someone who's going in and grabbing a coffee, then it's less value. So even though it might be $45 to access the lounge if you paid for it, if I can access it via Priority Pass, I'm not going to value it at $45 if I'm only going in for a coffee. Because for me, that's probably about maybe $5 in value at the most, given the other costs of coffee at other places in the airports. If I'm grabbing 3-4 drinks, then that's probably about $10 per drink if I were to go somewhere else in the airport. So that's about $30 to $40 in value. Really just depends on you though. You can use that sticker price, you can use how much value you derive, but you need to quantify it. The other really interesting thing is the hotel element, just because lounges you probably have access using other tools, but if it can cover a hotel, that can be extremely valuable. On the lounge side, I think it's fine. It's probably a C to a B if you don't have any other options. But given that there are so many other cards, even the Hilton Surpass card that gives you lounge access, I think I wouldn't rate it that highly. But for the hotel side, I think I would actually value it at the full $100 value because of the fact that it's something that you might otherwise have to do. These are going to be airport hotels though, so maybe it's not valuable for you. Just depends on how you connect and stuff like that. So those are going to be all of the long-term benefits of the card. If you are someone who wants to learn more about this card and you want to support our channel, a very easy way to do that would be to use the links that are on our website, AskSebby.com, as well as down below in the description box. The other major benefit is going to be more of a promotional one, where you're going to get a $100 credit on new luggage from Away. This offer is going to end on January 15th of 2020. I've been a pretty big fan of Away luggage, but I also travel pretty much every month, so it's a bit biased. My luggage has held up pretty well, and the fact that they have a very good warranty program that covers damage that is not caused by you hitting it with a hammer, that's a pretty good thing. A lot of the other brands have a good policy, but if it gets damaged, they don't really cover it. They cover manufacturer defects. So Tumi is a good example of this, which had a really good warranty in the past, but if you Google it, if you look at people's experience, it hasn't been good recently. 20 years ago, it was amazing. Nowadays, it's good if you want the brand, if you want that manufacturing, but they're not going to give you a new luggage if it gets destroyed. If you're someone that doesn't travel that frequently, it might make sense to go to Costco just to buy a bundle of 3 luggages for $150. That might make a bit more sense for you. And then if you're someone who feels like the quality isn't here and you want something a bit higher end, then I'd probably get a Rimowa or something for $1,000. You might derive a bit more happiness from that. For me though, I'm pretty happy in this middle ground given the coverage, given the price, and the fact that it's also a startup company, a tech company. I'm just generally more of a fan of those companies and support them more. Side note, I have a referral link that gets you $20 off of a new purchase if you are looking to buy something and maximize that credit value anyways. I'm not sponsored by them though, so I wouldn't be using them and I wouldn't recommend them if I didn't think that it was a good company. Another example is Ministry of Supply. I wear their shirts for most of my videos now. I wear their shirts out if you see me in public. I'm not getting paid by them. I have a referral link if you want to get a discount, but I wouldn't be wearing them every day if I didn't like it. Final impressions of the card is that I think it's a pretty good card. I think the multipliers are really good, especially that 3x back on travel. The other incidental credits I think are a nice little plus, but for me that's not really what drives the card. It's pretty much that 3x back. Like with most things with American Express, you really do need to run the numbers though to make sure that you're making a decision that makes sense. If you are going to run an American Express setup, you're probably going to need to have multiple of these cards. You're probably going to have the green card as well as the gold card, and maybe even the platinum card. Interestingly to me, I think this makes the platinum card more of an insurance card as well as more of a lounge card, but it really depends on how you want to mix it. One thing I found very funny is that people kept doing rumor videos for the card. I kind of avoided it because we didn't really know anything at the time. I probably could have made 7 or 8 10-minute videos as well that got 10 or 20,000 views, but it didn't really feel like it would be helpful for you guys, and I'd rather make all of those videos now and kind of overwhelm you with green videos now because it actually adds value, comparing different cards and then looking at whether this card makes sense for you, as well as doing a deep dive into the benefits. Just wanted to say that because there's probably going to be a lot of green card videos and people are probably going to get angry, but I feel like it's something that needs to be talked about given that it does change the landscape. Wrapping up the video, if you have any questions about how the cards interact with each other or any other suggestions for content related to the green card, let me know down below. On that note, if you are someone who wants to learn about American Express cards or pretty much cards from any issuer, if you want to support our channel, very easy way to do that would be to use the links that are on our website, AskSebby.com, or the ones down below in the description box. Hopefully that was helpful, and let me know if you guys have any questions. My question for you guys is, what are your thoughts on this card? What are your thoughts on the multipliers, as well as the other benefits? Let me and the community know down below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. It really helps us out. If you know anyone else who'd benefit from what we just talked about, feel free to share the video with them because it'll probably help them out, but otherwise hope you guys liked it. See you guys next time.